big thank you to Sal Digital for sponsoring this week's video. Hello everybody, I have been stood at this spot since what feels like the beginning of time, trying to get a photo. I've got a couple of candidates, I think, but I don't think I've really nailed one yet, and we're getting to the point where it's probably time to move on. Doesn't matter, we've got the entire Amalfi Coast to peruse to try and get a photo. That would have been good. Typical. I just thought I should probably tell you what this video is about. So, as I said, I'm on the Amalfi Coast and I'm going to walk today towards Positano, and while I do that, I'm going to try and take some photos with my phone, because ever since I've had this phone, I've been mega impressed with the photos from it, particularly with the wide-angle lens, the standard wide-angle lens. 24mm, something like that, is the main lens. It's 40-odd megapixels, and I thought that was a gimmick, but actually, it's pretty impressive. And today what I thought I'd do is take some photos to see how it handles pretty harsh light, but in an epic place. And basically what I want to find out is that 40-odd megapixels good? Like, can it be put to use? Can you print big with it? Would you want to print big with it? And could you take this phone instead of a camera out on a day like this? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to test it over the course of the next, I don't know, 10 kilometers or so, in, as I say, very harsh light, in my pink t-shirt. I've got sun cream on my face. You wouldn't tell me anyway, would you? Also, it's not a live video, so I'd be a bit late. Shut up, James. Just checking the shape of that cloud and the direction, because if it's coming this way, then it'll really add to the composition from back here. Sorry, this probably isn't the most relaxing video you'll ever watch. I imagine the audio is a complete mess, but hopefully we'll have some nice phone shots by the end of it. Here we go. Another perfect cloud. I love a good bit of minimalism. A few elements there, tiny bit of sea, the shadow of the dish on the ground. I like that a lot. So when I was booking this trip, I thought for a little while about bringing my bike. I thought that would be a really good way to see this bit of coastline, and it would have been. And I thought yesterday about hiring one as well, and I didn't do that either. But I think, on balance, a bike is the way to do it, because you can go back and forth and, yeah, cover a lot more ground. So in future, if I come here again, it's what I'm going to do. Ooh! Nice gap in the bush there. It's a bit of an awkward one to compose this, because I want to keep the dish above the horizon. This tree needs to fit neatly between the dish and the building with no overlap, and then the building is quite nice with the speed limit sign as well. So getting all those to work neatly and basically having separation between them all dictates that I have to stand here, essentially. Well, as you can see, I'm back home, and I've come home to a treat. So this is a photo that I didn't shoot on a phone, and I didn't take in Italy either. I shot this on a camera in Antarctica last year. And I got this from the sponsor of today's video, Sal Digital. So as you might have seen about a month ago, I made a video on this channel about my family trip to Iceland and the book I made off the back of that. And that book was also put together by Sal Digital, but they don't just do photo books. As you can see, they do fantastic wall decor, and this is one of the products within their wall decor range. So this is a metal print. It's the first metal print I've ever owned, and this one I had selected to come with a white floating frame, which, as the name suggests, does a very effective job of making the print look like it's floating. And even if I do say so myself, looks fantastic when it's on my wall here in the office. Now, there are lots of different options when you're ordering. There are obviously lots of sizes to choose from and mounting options too. So you don't need to have a floating frame if you don't want one. You could have an aluminium subframe, you could have a magnetic mounting, and even if you don't want a metal print, Sal Digital has lots of different options to choose from when it comes to wall decor. From canvas to sound insulating canvas to acrylic to changeable frames, there are loads of options. And it got me thinking when I saw this when I got back, maybe I should get one of these, but with a photo shot on the phone in Italy, i.e. one of the ones that I've shown you so far, and then I could give it away. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'll have a bit of a think about which photo it should be, but yeah, in a few weeks' time, in one of my videos, I will talk about that a bit more, so watch this space. But in the meantime, if you'd like to put together a photo book, as I did for our Iceland trip, or if you'd like some wall decor from perhaps one of your photos, then definitely check out Sal Digital. As I say, this is one of the things that they offer, many other different kinds of wall decor, as well as photo calendars, posters, cards, all kinds of stuff, fantastic customer service and fantastic products too. So definitely check them out in the links in my description. And a big thank you to Sal Digital for their continued support of this channel. So yeah, I'll have a think about what photo it should be that I get printed in that way to give away. It probably won't be one of the photos that I took the day after the photos that you've seen so far, because I spent the morning in the town of Amalfi and had a brilliant time taking photos, again, largely on my phone, except when I imported them to Lightroom Mobile, I noticed that something was afoot. Namely, that I'd accidentally tapped the RAW button at the top of the phone to toggle it off. So I'd been shooting JPEGs for a day. So yeah, some of these images are just not as detailed. You can't push them as far. They're nowhere near as clean. I was just a bit gutted because some of the photos I do really like. And to be honest, I think we've got to a point where that is the biggest drawback of shooting on a phone rather than a camera. Ergonomically, it's just nowhere near as good as shooting with a camera, which has lots of buttons, dials, and opportunities to customize stuff in the way that you can't really with a phone yet. Certainly not with physical buttons, which are, in my experience, less prone to accidents, such as shooting JPEG all day when you didn't intend to. Now, there are a couple of other drawbacks, obviously, with shooting with a phone. The processing time of those massive files, it's quite large. It's a few seconds at least to process one of the 40-odd megapixel files. And I suppose that's to be expected, but it probably does mean that you shouldn't shoot sports on this camera. Then again, the main lens is, as I mentioned, 24mm-ish, I think, and so you're unlikely to be shooting sports anyway. Also, Apple must have done their research, but I don't know why they've chosen to go with 24mm as opposed to old phones, which were 28mm. I think that would have kept more photographers happier if you had a 28mm 40-odd megapixel camera. I think that would have worked better than 24. 24 is just super wide for a lot of stuff. So I think, yeah, more photographers would have been happier were it still 28. Did it used to be 28 or was it 26? I can't remember. Now on this particular camera, the 2x camera is just a digital crop of the main camera, and the 3x camera is actually a different lens. And the results of those two are, I think, what you would expect from a phone in 2023. The main lens though, or the main camera, it's just phenomenal. Really, really phenomenal. I was blown away by the files, to be honest. Like I said, that was harsh conditions, really difficult light to shoot in. But it's not just the detail that impressed me. I applied my presets to these images, and if you've got my presets, you'll know that they're quite taxing on files. I'm pushing and pulling around lots of sliders to make the images look as I want them to. And I expected the files from the iPhone to kind of just fall apart and disintegrate when I did that with my presets. But no, they still look great. There's still bags of detail, bags of dynamic range, and I can't quite believe it, to be honest. Also on that, actually, I've had a few people who've downloaded my presets ask if it's possible to have them as Lightroom mobile presets. It's no problem at all. The easiest way I know to do it, and I should probably just upload some images to help do this, but basically on your desktop, if you apply a preset to an image and then export that image as a DNG to your phone, upload it to Lightroom Mobile, and then create a preset in Lightroom Mobile from those settings, you can then basically just take the preset from that file, if that makes sense. And if you do it for all the presets, you'll have all the presets on Lightroom Mobile. Hopefully that makes sense. And in short, I think we've gotten to a point now where I can just carry this as a pocket camera, and if I see something that I love the look of, I can shoot it on my phone knowing that I'll have no problem adding the files to my portfolio. And I've not really had confidence to do that with previous phones. This one, I really do. I think it's phenomenal. And to think that it's not only a camera, it's also capable of editing my images and distributing my images, because I can just add photos to my website from my phone. I mean, I sound like I'm talking in 2012, don't I? Oh wow, my phone has got a camera. But I've never seen a camera like this on a phone. Yeah, and admittedly I got this phone quite a few months ago, but I've only just realised quite how powerful it is. Anyway, hopefully that was interesting / useful. There are some other videos coming from Italy. I didn't just go to Italy to take some photos on my phone. And in the meantime, definitely check out Sol Digital. But big thank you for watching. I'm going to do some research into how to turn the RAW on off functionality off. I just always want to shoot RAW. I wonder if that's possible.